Hello and welcome to this ETZ video for creating a sales invoice. To do this, we go to the Sales Invoices menu and the Create Sales Invoice link. Here you will see a list of invoice data building up, and this list consists of timesheets which have been validated and are now ready to be invoiced. The filter functionality defaults to all. Timesheets and expense sheets, however, you can choose to view by their specific categories. You also have the ability here to only see clients that are ready to be invoiced. This option is helpful if you have a combination of clients who you invoice on a weekly and monthly basis. The last billing date indicates the date the client was last billed, and the next billing date is calculated from the last billing date using the billing cycle settings stored against each client entry record. Next we have Group By, which again is mapped from the client entry record, and this determines how the invoice data will be collated. The options available are Every Timesheet. This option will produce a separate invoice for each timesheet that has been validated. Candidate. This option will generate an invoice on a per candidate basis. This is the most common option. Purchase Order. This will collate timesheets for invoices by the purchase order attached to the assignment. So if a client has several POs, they will receive a separate invoice for each purchase order. Lastly, we have Manual Self-Bill. This ensures the system will not automatically collate invoices for a client, and this option tends to be used where a self-billing agreement is in place and you wish to reconcile the system against the self-bill invoice received from your client. If this option is ticked, all invoices must be generated manually. This will be covered in a separate video. The next column shown is Billing Cycle. And again, this data is pulled across from the client entry record. Timesheets column. This shows how many sheets are building up and waiting to be billed. The amount column gives you the net amount to be billed excluding the VAT. The days overdue is calculated from the next billing date, so you can easily identify when a sales invoice is due to be created and any overdue items listed. The highlighted items link shows items linked to the invoices. As you can see, these numbers here. Clicking on the highlighted link will enable you to see the information relating to the timesheets, such as candidates, period end and the unit amount to be billed. You can generate an invoice from this screen, but be warned, by creating an invoice in this screen, you will be overriding the invoice group settings stored for this client and instructing the system to invoice as per your selection. I'll demonstrate this now. Once in the screen, you have the tick boxes to the right hand side. But again, just to affirm the warning, you are bypassing the collation on the client record by raising your invoices here. We do not recommend creating invoices via the timesheet link, as it is purely there to identify the timesheets that are being collated. You therefore must return back to the main sales creation page, as I just did with the back button, to create your invoices correctly. When you are ready to create your invoices, you simply select the clients you want to invoice by individually ticking the box or bulk selecting. You can bulk select by clicking the top, or you can select individually. You have the option to change the invoice date to another date if appropriate. You can do so here. And when you're ready, click on the blue Create Sales Invoice button. You will now see the items have disappeared from the list and only the ones remaining will be manually self-billed. However, as I have not chosen the above candidate one or the below client one, these have remained. If you have manual self-bill clients showing in the list, you now need to create the invoices manually. You do this by clicking on the timesheet link where you can manually select the timesheets you want. The process here is to select the timesheets and reconcile them against the self-bill invoice received from your client. So, for example, if we select the timesheet listed, I'll select the top one. This will show the total value, which should match your client's self-bill invoice. Again, you can change the invoice date here at the bottom. If you wish to match your client's self-bill invoice, in the change invoice date section and in the client ref/self-bill invoice field, you enter the client's self-bill invoice reference, just here. This will help when it exports into your accounts package. You then click on the Create button for these items to raise. Obviously, a physical invoice has not been generated, but what has happened is a transaction line has been created, which will be seen when you export the data into your accounts package. The sales invoice, excluding the manual self-bill you have just created, are now waiting to be delivered to your clients, and are also available to be batched and exported into your accounts software. This concludes this video for creating a sales invoice. If you want more information on the system, please see our knowledge base. For any additional help on the system, please contact support. Thank you for watching.